So today you're going to do a lab about synoptic weather maps, and you should already be open to the white packet, page 15. And I'm going to start reading so that we know what we're doing. So, a synoptic weather map. I know I'm doing a video, so okay. Have you ever read a synopsis of a book? A synopsis is a brief summary of the story. Similarly, a synoptic weather map is a synopsis or summary of the weather. It shows a variety of field quantities on a single map. Figure 22-14 is an example of a synoptic weather map. The synoptic weather map is one of the most important tools that a meteorologist uses for making weather forecasts. With a current map and knowledge of past weather changes, a meteorologist can often make good predictions for the next few days. All right. So we see a warm front, we see a cold front, low pressure, high pressure, and all these slanted lines here are precipitation. Okay. You should know that a field is a region in which one or more variables can be measured at different places. In this lab, the maps that you will be drawing will show the following 5 variables recorded in the region shown in the map. We got barometric pressure, temperature, precipitation, wind direction, and cloud cover. All right, so you're going to need your colored pencils, you're going to need a highlighter. All right, okay, so here's map A. We are going to draw isobars, which are lines of equal air pressure at an interval of 4 millibars. We're going to start with 040, then 080, etc. until we're done. So we got 040 plus another 4 millibars. We got 080 plus another 4 millibars is 120, then 160, then 20, 16 plus 4 is 20, that's 200, and finally 240. So we're going to draw a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different isobars. Now remember that the decimal point goes here in between the last 2 numbers, and at the front of each one of these numbers we're going to put a 10. So 040 decoded is actually 1040.0, and 080 decoded is actually not 1040, 1004. Duh. 1004.0 is 1008.0. 120 decoded is 1012.0. 160 is 1016.0 millibars, and 200 is 1020.0 millibars, and 240 is 1024.0 millibars. So that's what we're actually going to be drawing. We're going to start low. Low pressure is where the weather is crummy, so we're going to start with these places over here that have cloud cover. So at the top right is the pressure, the 3-digit pressure.
Is the homework pages 29 through 41?
We're going to do 040. So 040 falls in between 039 and 081. So we're just going to wrap around Detroit. 040 falls in between 039 and 041. So we're going to go down here. 040 falls in between 010 and 072. And 040 lands in between 017 and 080. So that's our first isobar there. So we're done with 040. We're going to go on to 080. Well, 080 is exactly at Richmond, so we're going to go right through there. 080 falls in between 040 and 081, so we're just going to head just south of Buffalo. We're going to go just north of Sault Ste. Marie. We're going to come down. We're going to split the difference between Chicago and Minneapolis. We're going to be between Chicago and Kansas City. And we're going to come down here. We're going to right into Little Rock, because that's exactly 080. And then we're going to come around, and we're going to go in between Atlanta and Chattanooga, and that's, oops. And this is our 080 isobar. So that one's done. Okay. 120 is going to be in a few different places. Okay, so if we go up here, 120 falls in between 111 and 122, and 120 falls in between 110 and 14. So we're just going to do that. We have no more data to go into Canada or into the Atlantic, but we are going to swing around. 120 falls in between 110 and 140, and 120 goes down here too, and it just goes off the map like that. Now, 1012.0 is also in this area, okay? So if we look over here, 110 and 138, we're going to be in between here, in between there. 120 falls in between 110 and 200, closer to 110. 120 falls in between 139 there, so we're going to go in between Fort Worth and Little Rock, and then 120 goes in between 139 and 112, so we're going to wrap around here, and then we just go off the map. So 120 is done. Okay, 160, so now we're over in the higher pressure. 160 falls in between 140 and 197, in between 142 and 197, so 160 over here. In between 152 and 167, so go down between Los Angeles and Phoenix. We're going to wrap around. We're going to go over here, and that's our 160 line. We're going to do a 200 line. So Denver is exactly 200. We're going to go over here. We're going to go in between Butte and Boise. Going to wrap around like that. And then our final one is going to be 240, which is just going to be a loop around Salt Lake City. Okay. So we're done with number one. Okay, so now we're going to label the center of the cyclone L and the center of the anticyclone H. So where is the center of the low pressure? We're going to get our red, and the low pressure is right here at Cincinnati. And our center of our high pressure is out here in Salt Lake City. Okay, so that's done. And then the last thing that we need to do on this page is we need to show the wind direction at each station by extending the arrows at each station as shown here. Be sure you don't darken each line and construct the points of the arrows. Okay, be sure that you darken each line. So take a black pen or a black colored pencil. We know that the stick shows the direction the winds are coming from. So that's what we're going to do on every stick. We're going to darken it with an arrow showing the direction where the winds are coming from. So I'm going to model this, and then we're going to pause. You're going to stop the video and play the next one. So, for example, Phoenix, the stick is that way. We're going to, that's where the winds are coming from. Los Angeles, like that. There's another one. San Francisco, like that. Seattle, like that. So I want you to do that for every single stick that's on the map. All right, finish that up. And when you're done, it's going to look like this. All right. So you're going to see that the high pressure circulates how? Counterclockwise and out of the high, and the low pressure counterclockwise and into the low. And if we notice the wind's going out of the high and into the low.